US President Donald Trump has reacted to India's operation against terror camps inside Pakistan and POK. In fact, Donald Trump said people knew that something is going to happen. The US President further said that he hopes the tension between our two countries will end soon. Meanwhile, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio has said he's closely monitoring the situation between India and Pakistan. In fact, in a social media post, Marco Rubio said that the US president will continue to engage with both the Indian and Pakistani leadership towards a peaceful resolution. Moreover, Tammy Bruce, the US State Department spokesperson, has reacted over the closed-door UNSC meeting amid these ongoing tensions. Listen in to what Tammy Bruce had to say. Also, we have a reaction from a former Pentagon official lined up for you. Listen in.
This morning, Secretary Rubio spoke with Pakistani Prime Minister Sharif and Indian External Affairs Minister Jaishankar. In both calls, the Secretary emphasized the need for immediate de-escalation and called for an end to the violence. He expressed U.S. support for direct dialogue between India and Pakistan and encouraged continued efforts to improve communications.
There is no moral equivalence between the two countries. Pakistan started the conflict with its support for terrorism. Indians were the victim of terrorism. While I was initially critical that Prime Minister Modi had taken so long to respond, in hindsight, it's clear that the Indian military was carefully planning, and the Indian military has shown itself to be far more capable. The fact of the matter now, looking forward, there can only be one metric by which we look at the diplomatic solution to this issue. Pakistan has to be designated by the United States to be a state sponsor of terror.
Right, Disha is tracking the finer developments for us and the global reaction. She joins us live at the moment. Disha, so the US Secretary of State has dialed his counterpart, Dr. Jaishankar, also spoken to Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, seeking immediate de-escalation. But we were discussing there's certain difference in semantics in both those statements, right? Take our viewers through that difference.
Absolutely, Parmeshwar. So some of the key differences, while US has made its point clear that they have urged both India and Pakistan to immediately de-escalate these rising tensions. They've called for direct dialogue between India and Pakistan and really stop this violence. But there was one key difference between the statements by the US regarding the call with Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif as well as Indian Foreign Minister Jaishankar, which was that while in the statement regarding the call with India, US reiterated their commitment to work with India against their fight against terrorism. But when it comes to Pakistan, really emphasizing that Pakistan needs to stop its support for any terror groups and really reiterating that Pakistan needs to understand that it can no longer support terrorism. And even the sound bites that we heard earlier from the State Department, again mentioning that the US stand has been clear when it comes to terrorism, that they will continue to support India in its fight against terrorism, as well as continuously pressuring Pakistan to really stop its support for any terrorist group on its in its territory. So really making its position clear, backing India when it comes to its fight against terrorism, and also putting the pressure on Pakistan when it comes to this rising escalation.